Welcome to the Naughty Numerology Podcast, where we help you decode the matrix as well as help navigate you through your own spiritual awakening through numerology, news, and a lot of nonsense. I'm your host, Rothy. As always, I'm the numerologist and intuitive, and I'm the one helping guide you through this whole thing. It's been a minute since we've used the little intro thing. I just did that without even using the headphones, so I'm hoping that went well. I'll find out in edits how that's going. Let's see, I might want to readjust some things really quickly, so bear with me just one moment. This is just so you can see my lovely face a little closer. I want to see about putting something higher. Fuck it. All right, let's do this. Let's do this, shall we? All right. So today's show. Give me a little lipstick. Make sure I look cute for y'all. Today's show is going to be the numerology of Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese, the two duking it out in the WNBA. And of course, we're all hearing about that. It's one of the latest distractions. We have a new superstar in the WNBA that's brought all this excitement, all this attention. And yes, as somebody who's barely getting into NBA, literally as of very recent, I have never paid attention to WNBA. I didn't know that it was. I've never heard anything. I've never heard anybody talking about it ever. So yeah. With that being said, I figured, let's just crunch the numbers, see who these two girls are, and what makes sense about it, right? Now, for those of you who are not familiar with me at all, I'm a numerologist. I've been doing this for several years now. I do have lots of content on different channels. But basically, I don't like titles. I don't like, word names. I don't know what I am. Honestly, I'm a numerologist and I have abilities. A lot of times shit just comes to my head and I know it. Actually, some shit just came to my head today with a friend, and I was just like, hey, this came to my head. And they were like, that is insane, because that's exactly what came up 2 weeks ago. So just kind of one of the things that I do. If you're doubting anything that I'm saying here, or that these numbers are what they are, feel free to go check out other videos and stuff that I've done before, or talk to the many hundreds of, if not thousands of clients I've had across the world. So let's assume that I know what I'm talking about here, okay? And these are the numbers of these people. What I do with numerology is I basically break down the numbers, what they mean, and how this reflects in a certain person's life, as well as how we observe that, right? How we engage with that. Because numerology is actually not only is it the study and science of numbers and their energies, and how we interact with them as a society as well as individuals, but it's also the binary coding to our very existence. We do live in a simulation, and numerology is actually part of the proof. It's a piece of proof of that. So I do my best to kind of awaken humanity to this fact through my teachings, through consults, so on and so forth, personal numerology readings, as well as predictions, etc. So nice to meet you if you're new here. With that being said, let's go ahead and break down really quickly the basics. Okay, so we all have 5 placements in each one of our numerology charts, right? We have our life path and our birth date. Those 2 numbers are derived from our actual date of birth, and they will never change. You can't change your birth date, right? So those are going to be the strongest energies, right? And then you have your expression, your personality, or what I call the perception number, because that's what it is. And then you have your heart's desire. And these 3 numbers are derived from the actual spelling of one's name, okay? And these different placements have pull different attributes out of these numbers, and we'll see that as we go through the charts. Now, out of all numbers, there's only, for all of the placements, there's only 12 digits. Each placement can only be one of 12 digits. The cardinals, 1 through 9, and then the masters, 11, 22, and 33. And that's it. There's no such thing as like angel numbers and stuff like that when you're dealing with numerology charts, okay? Okay. All right. So let's talk about Caitlyn, all right? Caitlyn has a life path of 9 and a birth date of 22. What is the life path? The life path is the destination energy. It's our purpose, right? So we may not fulfill that purpose early on in life, meaning we may not exhibit all the attributes of that number earlier on in life. Most of us won't do that until the latter half of our life or so, okay? And then the birth date number, that's our everyday energy. So the parts of us that stay the same and never change from birth until death, right? So she has a life path of 9. Let's talk about the 9. The 9 is, out of the cardinals, if the 1 is the alpha, then the 9 is the omega, right? It's the end, it's the closer, but it's also the healer, and it is the shapeshifter. So nines a lot of times want to save the world, right? They want to save everybody. They want everybody to win. Their true heart's desires like that. Now, some of them can be shapeshifters and they can turn on you. It's just the shadow part of the 9, right? But for the most part, 9s need to learn to put their oxygen mask on first and take care of themselves a lot of times, right? Well, then she has the birthday number of the 22, the Master 22, the Master Builder. This is the most powerful number out of all numbers in numerology. And this is it's the duplication of the 2, which is the mother, the nurture, the Venus energy. We talked about this in Kyrie's video. But it is the duplication of that, but it's also the master builder. And at the end of the day, 2 plus 2 still equals 4, even though we're not deducing it in this regard, because it is a master number. Even so, we're still bringing in some of the energy of the 4 because it's the master builder, right? And 4 is the builder. So an extremely structured person, a leader of the people, right? But one that leads with love, okay? And nurturing. Now, our expression number is how and why we do things, based, of course, upon our numbers, but also experiences, environmental factors, influences, so on and so forth. Her expression number and how she does things is the 3. Well, what is the 3? The 3 is the creative child. The 3 is a very special number. Tesla understood that, many people did. The 3 is, I break the cardinals down into 3 categories. You have the leaders, which is the 1, the 4, and the 7. You'll notice about all those numbers. Look at the shapes of the numbers. It's all hard lines. And this is because these are more rigid personalities, more intolerant type personalities, because these are the leaders, right? Then you have the lovers. You're going to have supportive numbers like the 2, the 6, and the 9, right? And those are, look at the shapes of them once again. The 2, right? It's got the curvy top and then the strength hard bottom. If you were to lean on the 2, it's going to bounce you back up. Supportive, nurturing, loving Venus mother energy. Look at the 6. It's like a comfy chair that if you sit in, it's going to embrace you, right? And then look at the 9, kind of the opposite of that, right? But the 9 is also the closer. So the 9 wants to include everybody. And then you have the legends. And the legends are the 3, the 5, and the 8. These are the ones that have a lot more trauma. These are the ones that have a lot more influence. They have a lot more impact. Look at the shapes of them. They're big, bold, like a big boobed woman coming in. Look at the 3, like that sort of epic phenom energy, right? The 8 is the most powerful number among the cardinals 1 through 9. That's the ultimate phoenix, right? That's the gambler. That's the manifester, the magician. It's power, money, and karma, but it's also trauma, the biggest trauma. 5 is beauty. It's mass appeal. It's mass energy, change, fun, pleasure, right? Joy. And the 3 is the creative child. But the 3 is an epic person because they were divinely gifted with a creative talent that it's more than just a talent. It's divinely gifted. So they have a natural ability to use that tool, that gift as a tool to transmute the negative things in life, right, into beauty. For instance, going through a heartbreak and writing a beautiful love song, right? So that's the three. So this is how she does life. This is how she goes through life with a very like, if you've ever seen a child that's like, that kid has been here in somebody else's body before, right? You just knew that that was an old soul in that baby's body or that toddler. That's the three. It's the wise old soul, but they're always in a youthful form, right? So lots of fun, attributes about them. They may be pranksters or jokesters or very comical, funny. They're peacemakers type energy, right? So then you have her perception number, or what's called the personality number. I call it perception is because that's what it is. It's how we're perceived by others in life. It may not always be what we are, but it's how we're perceived, right? And hers is the one. Well, what's the one? The one is the father. That's the male dominant leader, right? It's the first leader. Very stubborn, stuck in the mud, but also very unique. One in a million, one of a kind. I'm a birthday one. I embrace my weird. It's my everyday energy. I was born May 1st. So there's a certain like oddness to us, a certain energy about us that people can't really describe a lot of times. And, but it's also leadership, right? Okay, but very masculine energy. The 1, the 4, and the 7. All of the leaders have masculine energy. Okay, excuse me. So then we go down to her heart's desire, which is what you want out of life. It's your soul urge, what you want to manifest in life, right? Hers, just like Kyrie's, is the 2. What does this mean? The 2 is the mother, the nurturer, the lover, the Venus, like we said before. Very supportive and loving energy. She wants to manifest love and unity, just like Kyrie, right? And we talked about the difference between him and Stephen A. Smith and their heart's desire because their charts were very similar, almost exactly alike. But their heart's desire was what made them different, right? So that heart's desire of 2 is going to be that's what they want to manifest. Versus Stephen A. Smith had a perception number of 2, and that position, that's the like playboy. We see him as a feminine playboy type energy. That's what he's seen as, right? Whereas in the heart's desire, it means that's what you want to manifest. So I always like to talk about that, how that differentiates in those placements. Okay, now let's talk about Miss Angel Reese, the one who is like getting all in her feelings and bent out of shape because there's a new girl that is bringing all sorts of international attention and so much more money to the WNBA, and she can't stand it. So let's take a look at her chart. We have the life path, and by the way, I'll just show you my little rinky-dink board here. But so here's Caitlyn Clark's, right? And then we have Angel Reese's, right? Let's also talk about Caitlyn Clark's. Not only are we a birthday 22 because we were born on 1/22 of 2002, she's also number 22. And she's also 22 years old. They're both 22 years old. So this is interesting. Look at those 2s. She's all love. Like, why are you going to hate on somebody like that? She literally is like, let me bring you money and more stuff and bring all my talents to help the WNBA. And this bitch is like, who is you? But I'll talk about Angel, even though I see that she's being petty and in her feelings. I'm going to give her what she deserves right here. And that's her life path and birth date. And this is the 6. Remember, I talked about the 6 as far as one of the lovers, right? The 6 is the love of home and family and tradition and rituals. So talk about loyalty to who she loves. That's why she's so defensive. It's not just about her. She's thinking like, we've been doing this for ba 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 ba, and all of a sudden this white girl comes along, and but here's the thing, and this is gonna sound so weird, right? Here's the thing. Not everybody is chosen, right? Doesn't mean you're not amazing. It doesn't mean that it's like, you know, NBA. Not everybody's Kyrie. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody's going to bring the same type of energy. Some are going to bring more. Some bring it on, spiritual levels, and everything is energy. And this is why the numbers are so important, right? But what I will give her here is she's loyal as a loyal. Loyalty, family first, always, right? Her expression number is the 1. So we see that very dominant, very stubborn, stuck in her ways, leader type energy, right? Then we have the perception number of 7. So the 7 is a leader, but it's a leader from behind the scenes. The 7 is strategy. It's secrets. It is, but it's protection, right? So she's seen as a very protective person, and I think that we can definitely see that. But it's also strategy, right? So it is brilliance. It's somebody who's very smart. So she's seen, as somebody who's smart. Again, smart and wise are two different things. I don't think that it's very wise to kind of show that you're super insecure and jealous of somebody by being petty, in the media. But then we go to her heart's desire, which is a 3. We talked about the 3 before, which was Caitlyn's expression number. That's how she does things. Like, that's who she is just naturally. It's how she does things. In the heart's desire position, that means that's what Angel is wanting to manifest, because she's not that. Remember, I said the 3 is the phenom. It's that naturally gifted, creative child that has that divine gift. They're a phenom. It's not a regular type of gift. It is divinely gifted, right? Caitlyn has that naturally. That's what she wants. That's what she wants. That's what Angel wants. She wants to have that creative. She wants to be the phenom. But she's not. It doesn't mean she's not amazing. That's not what it, but she's not the phenom. This right here is the phenom. This right here is pure intent, right? This right here is she's seen as a leader because of all of this, because she's not being petty back. I'm just the numerologist. I just decode the numbers. And if y'all want me to break down how I got those numbers, so you can look online on Google and say, how do you decode a chart? And there's whole ways you can do. There's apps you can use. You can Google, Wikipedia, her shit. Get their charts pulled up. I'm not lying to you. Then look up what the numbers mean. Or feel free to go back to the many people that I have on my other channels who are like complete strangers, who are blown away by the shit that I tell them about themselves based upon their numbers. Because it's not about me. It's about the codes in life, the decodes. And that's what numerology is, because it's the fundamental truth to everything. It's the binary coding to our avatars. So our charts are the coding to our life's experiences, to what we want, our preferences, our challenges, our traumas, our successes. It's all coded, my loves. Again, I'm just the numerologist. Wow, this was a quick one. I did 2 charts in less than 20 minutes. I just got to give it up for me real quick. My people have been telling me, make it shorter. So, yeah, with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed. I'm gonna do another Kyrie one because we got to do a Kyrie and Bean. I got to do it. I got to do it. Make sure to check that one out as well. If you guys want me to do any charts on any of your favorite players, any of your people, um, let's do it. Let me know at Naughty Numerology Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And yeah, feel free to email me as well. Naughtynumerology@gmail.com. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.